the closing moments of WrestleMania 40's Night 2 main event, Roman Reigns was left with a choice: focus on the future or remain stuck in the past, to which Roman chose the latter, which inevitably led to his downfall. The story that was the WrestleMania 40 Night 2 main event included two individuals engulfed in their own goals. For Cody Rhodes, it was simple: finish the story that his father couldn't, and win the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. However, for Roman, it was so much more than that. It was about trust, family, and revenge. Something we have come to learn over Triple H's time in creative control is his fondness about long-term storytelling. While that could be frustrating to us as fans who want immediate gratification, we got to see the benefits of long-term storytelling on the end of WrestleMania Night 2. In a night where it felt like everything from his past was coming back to bite him, like squashing The Undertaker at WrestleMania, just for The Undertaker to come out and chokeslam The Rock, who has been Roman Reigns' biggest partner up to this point, or he and Cousin Solo's issues with the former face of the company, John Cena, just for Cena to make his triumphant return and take out the Bloodline's enforcer in Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns was not going to let this specific person get the better of him again. And that man was his best friend and former Shield brother, Seth freaking Rollins. Since becoming the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns has highly emphasized one thing, and that is the importance of family. I mean, when he first joined the WWE, he literally joined with his two, in quotes, brothers in Dean Ambrose and, as we mentioned, Seth Rollins. And back in 2014, that brotherhood would end as Seth Rollins would use a steel chair to the back of his brother Roman Reigns. The theme of betrayal would become a common theme, unfortunately, throughout Roman Reigns' career. Sami Zayn would take a similar steel chair to the back of Roman Reigns after Roman let him into the Bloodline. And who could forget Jimmy and Jey Uso betraying Roman Reigns, the two original members of the Bloodline, betraying him and handing him his first pinfall loss in over 3 years. While Roman was able to vanquish the demons of Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, and Jimmy would rejoin the Bloodline, there was just one guy that Roman Reigns still couldn't get out of his head, and that was Seth Rollins. Because in the only time that these two would match up during Roman Reigns' most recent title reign, Seth Rollins was the only one to actually have a win over him. However, this actually wouldn't be a clean win, as Roman Reigns choked out Seth Rollins despite the fact that Rollins had his hand on the rope, which turned into a disqualification finish. But Rollins, being the maniacal man that he is, knew how to get into Roman's head, so he showed up in full Shield gear during their match, along with entering through the crowd with the Shield entrance the same way all three of them used to. And even while he was getting his ass kicked during the match, Rollins would offer a fist bump to Roman Reigns, very similar to the way that him, Dean Ambrose, and Roman would do a Shield fist bump throughout their times together. And for the first time, it felt like our Tribal Chief had really lost his composure, because as he was choking out Seth Rollins in the guillotine, he screamed,
"He deserves this! He won't allow me to let go! He won't allow me!"
This showed that mentally, Roman Reigns wasn't where he was supposed to be as the champion, and trust was always going to be something he struggled with. After a year later, he was betrayed by Sami Zayn, somebody he called an honorary Uso. Not to mention his own cousin in Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso for a period of time, betraying him later that same year. The concept of what family really was and how to trust somebody you care about was completely broken for our Tribal Chief, all thanks to one man. But how does this all relate to Cody Rhodes and his inevitable match at WrestleMania 40 with Roman Reigns? After The Rock had returned and tried to force himself into the main event of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes used his Royal Rumble win to set up the guaranteed match between himself and Roman at WrestleMania. And knowing he would be by himself in this, he enlisted the help of Roman's former brother, Seth Rollins. When you're looking at it only from Roman's perspective, it seems kind of messed up from Cody, because it's like Cody just knew he wasn't going to beat Roman by himself, so he obviously had to go out and get the guy who has mentally destroyed Roman over the last 10 years. But it would all culminate into what became the biggest tag team match in WrestleMania history, where The Rock would team up with his cousin Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And if the Cody Rhodes team were to win the Bloodline, that meant everybody, including The Rock, would be barred from sidelines during Cody and Roman's main event. However, The Rock had stated if The Rock and Roman Reigns were to win, then the bloodline would reign supreme, and it would be bloodline rules for night 2's main event. Honestly, we never got a full explanation of what bloodline rules were. It's just basically no holds barred, no DQ, and get as many people involved as possible. Throughout the match, Roman Reigns would seem to get the last laugh on both Cody Rhodes and specifically Seth Rollins on several occasions, including this one where he took Seth Rollins basically out of the match by spearing him through the barricade. The Rock and Roman Reigns would win this match, making it bloodline rules for night 2. So it feels like, okay, maybe The Rock and Roman Reigns have this one in the bag, right? All Roman's got to do is go out there and beat Cody Rhodes. Just be focused on that and that alone, right? No. Because what was a moment that was nearly identical to WrestleMania 39's loss for Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa would come out and hit the Samoan spike while Rhodes was ready to hit a crossroads on Roman Reigns. They would then combine for a spear and Samoan spike combination that Cody Rhodes still kicked out of. But as I said, long-term storytelling, because John Cena had his issues with the bloodline as he lost to Solo Sikoa and also lost to Roman Reigns during Reigns' long title reign. So Cena would come out and take out Sikoa by putting him through the announce table with an AA. However, there was a moment before this that is important to note, as Jimmy Uso was coming out to try and help Roman Reigns win. However, Jay, his brother, came out, attacked him, and speared him off the ramp. However, who would be the person to come out and confront Cena? None other than The Rock, calling back their WrestleMania 28 once-in-a-lifetime match, and then, I guess, twice-in-a-lifetime match in WrestleMania 29. But this was a nice callback to their feud, as The Rock would then hit a rock bottom on Cena, taking him out, and being ready to use his weight belt to whip Cody Rhodes. Right before The Rock was able to hit Cody Rhodes with the Mama Rhodes weight belt, a sound we are all too familiar with hearing at WrestleMania sent the arena into a spiral. And when those lights came back on, it would be none other than The Undertaker, the greatest WrestleMania performer ever, coming out to help Cody Rhodes win the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship by taking out The Rock. Now I know, everybody thought this should be Stone Cold, right? But Stone Cold had his issues with The Rock and The Rock alone. Undertaker actually had issues with Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns technically beat him at WrestleMania. He was one of 2 losses that The Undertaker had at WrestleMania. So this made more sense theoretically because the storyline is Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, not Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. So honestly, I was totally okay with this, and let's be honest here. Hearing the bell gong in WrestleMania is just iconic for all of us. This was something we needed to see at WrestleMania 40. Now this is important because Roman Reigns was able to get to the steel chair left in the ring before Cody Rhodes did. So he had an opportunity now. Was he going to use it on the American Nightmare and once again ending this story before it had the chance to be finished? Or once again be focused on the man who stabbed him in the back, or I guess metaphorically stabbed him in the back, actually hit him with a steel chair? This was a you choose your own adventure, and Roman Reigns was the main character. Because Roman, after initially looking at Cody Rhodes, turned to his former brother in Seth Rollins and hit him in the back with a chair. Now, of course, this wasn't the only reason that Roman Reigns lost, because he then turned to Cody Rhodes and had time to hit him with a spear. But it was that momentary distraction that gave Cody Rhodes enough time to grab Roman Reigns for the crossroads and hit it not once, not twice, but officially 3 times for the 1, 2, 3. Now, as I said in the beginning, this story was about 2 men with 2 goals. Cody Rhodes's was to win the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, to which he did. And Roman Reigns' goals, well, we're not fully aware of what they were, but I do believe revenge was a part of it. Which could be why he was smiling on the mat as he was suffering the 3 count, because he knew in the end of the day, he finished the story that truly mattered to him, and that was getting Seth Rollins, his former brother, back for what he did to him 10 years ago. Okay, to be honest, I don't actually think he's smiling, but it just goes with the story, so let's go with it. The theme of long-term storytelling remains, because we may have witnessed the end to a story that has been going on for 10 years now. But who knows, maybe there's more these 2, or maybe I should say these 3 have in store for us for the future. The peak of long-term storytelling was certainly evident in WrestleMania 40, and I can't wait to see how much more we have in store for us during the Paul Levesque era.